Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Job Not Done podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Hogan, and we've been taking a little bit of a break. We were traveling and on vacation for the last 2 weeks in Lake Tahoe. So sorry for not keeping the regular uploads. I will have the regular uploads for the next 7 weeks. I promise you that. That is a Job Not Done promise. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So the fear of failure. It's one of the most powerful forces holding people back, not because failure is dangerous, but because of what we believe it says about us. Episode, we're going to talk about where this comes from, why it's so destructive, and how you can push through it so it becomes the fuel that drives you towards your goals instead of the anchor that's just holding you down, you know, trying to get to the surface of the water. All right, let's get right into it. So, one of the main talking points that I want to discuss with you guys today is why we fear failure in the first place. So, we have to start at a baseline. So, some of the things that contribute to this are like social conditioning, right? So, school, grades, judgment. We see these external factors, and it's not even our mindset really, it's things that are out in the world. And it's not just those three things either. Those are probably the most prevalent. For example, let's take sports. We have someone, an athlete, who has a lot of potential, really good person, and he's good at the sport, but he doesn't give himself enough credit, and he's always trying to be perfect, and he's always afraid of failing, and he's actually failing more because he's trying to be perfect instead of going to practice, working the kinks out, and just playing the game and not thinking. This is super important, guys, because if we don't just remove that stuff from our mind and we think about, oh, how am I going to mess up this time? You're gonna mess up that time. You're going to mess up. You're going to fuck up. You're going to screw up. You're not going to get close to or the desired result. You're just not. Another big thing is, especially in social environments, is the fear of embarrassment or disappointing others. That could be family members, friends, even just peers that you're not necessarily friends with. This is a super big one because this is probably the most common one. Because not everybody's athletes, but we're all human. And we all have social interaction, at least most of us. Some of us are introverted, extroverted, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the fear of disappointing your parents, like that can be such a heavy or grave thing to put upon yourself. Number one, do it for you. Don't do it to please other people. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing it because of what somebody else thinks, why are you even doing it? Why are you even taking the time to pursue this just because, and that person could be dead in 2 years, or that person you'll never see again. And you're letting someone you'll never see again impact the rest of your life. Like, that is a stupid way to live, and you're just creating so much irrational bullshit for yourself. You are creating this false sense of, I need to live up to everybody's standards. No. What you do is you set goals like we've talked about in the past. You set goals for yourself, doesn't matter what it is, and then you achieve those goals. You live up to what you want because you're your biggest enemy. And we talked about this last time. It all connects. Everything in the motivation sphere, discipline sphere, masculinity sphere connects. And the human experience sphere connects. So don't try to be a people pleaser and be a you pleaser. Be honest with yourself, though. Get shit done. It's going to be bumpy, but you got to speak the truth to yourself. That is super important. Speaking the truth to yourself that, hey, you know what? I'm not perfect, but I'm going to try my damn best. I'm going to put my best effort out. I'm not going to overthink. I'm going to keep grinding and I'm going to be consistent. Consistency is the most important thing there. The next thing, how our brains confuse failure with survival threats, right? With trying to at least put out something, right? Survival threats, not really a great term for it. More just like putting something out there. right? The difference is that failure and survival are two different things. And we want to thrive. You guys need to thrive. Because if you're not thriving, you're doing it all wrong. You're drifting by, you're living at 40% of your potential, and you're not getting shit done. You're just sitting on your ass, scrolling all day. And you know what? We all scroll. I scroll for a couple minutes, whatever. Try to reduce your scrolling, all right? We all do it. I'm not going to say that I'm the perfect guy here for scrolling, okay? I do it a little bit, but cut that shit out. Make it less than 10 minutes of your day. It's a side note. But thrive, dude. Thrive. Survive. Thrive in those environments. Put yourself in an environment to fail. That is how you will overcome failure. You will succeed because you know what it's like to fail. You know what not to do next time, and you're better prepared. It's as simple as that. And it's not going to be a smooth sailing line of progress. It's going to be like this. It's going to be ups and downs, but what you want to make sure is that you're consistent with the ups and downs. So what happens is you're up and down, but look how my finger, it's going in an upward direction. Right? You have to think about life like that. Life, if you look at it like a timeline, life is like a bunch of ups and downs. Right? If you're just here, you're in equilibrium, which means you're at the same starting point of the success index. You have failure down here, you have success above the line. If you're going up and down above the line and you're staying on that line, you're not doing anything. You're at equilibrium, like I said. But if you go up and down very gradually at a constant slope, you're succeeding. And yeah, you're going to fail, but that's part of life. You need to fail. Because if you don't, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know how to get better. You're not going to know how to study more. You're not going to know how to, run more, run longer, whatever it is. You're not going to know how to do it. That brings me to my next point, the hidden cost of avoiding failure. Things like missed opportunities you never even know existed. So this means putting yourself out there, saying, so for a sports example, let's do sports. It's simple and it's easy. So you have an athlete and a coach. This athlete's on a team. Coach, hey, what are other things? Who are people I can go to get better at this technique in this sport? And it doesn't matter what sport it is. It can be anything. For me, it's ultimate frisbee, right? For you, it could be anything. And this could be school too. What are supplemental resources that I can learn or that I can put into my academia, my study to become a better student? How can I get better grades? How can I become a better test taker? These are the things you need to do. And even when you go and do these things, you're still going to fail. You're broadening your horizon of failure, which means you know more of what not to do and more of what to do the next time. And through this, just by failing, you're acquiring more knowledge already, which is great because that's what I want for you guys. I want you guys to be intellectual, wise, and knowledgeable about the things that you're passionate about because that's how you become the best at those things. And the next thing is the regret of the what if scenario. And that will often outweigh the pain of failing. We all need pain, guys. We all need it. And it sucks to say, and pain hurts. Trust me, we've all gone through it. I've gone through it. You've gone through it. Everybody in this world's gone through it. Doesn't matter what kind of pain it is. You're going to go through pain in life. You're going to go through physical, mental, intellectual, whatever. Growing pains, like literally anything. If you avoid the pain and the suffering and the sacrifices, you're always going to fail. And fearing growth, because failure is really just growth, guys. Failure is growth. If you stick to that mindset, nothing can stop you. And here's the thing. You're not going to be the best at something day one. You're not going to be the best at something day two. You may not even be the best at something on day 5, 6, 7, 8, or you're not going to be the best at year 5, year 10. You're going to be really damn good, but you're not going to be the best. And that's not for everything. Some things maybe, but who knows? You stay consistent, you never know what happens. The unexpected play at the unexpected time. That's what I tell people. You got to put yourself out there for the opportunities. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Literally. Like that's an actual like it's just true. If you're not taking shots, you can't score, man. Even if you miss, yeah, hit a better shot next time. And another thing is playing small to avoid mistakes leads to a small life. Sometimes you got to go big. Sometimes you got to do shit that scares you. Sometimes you got to put yourself out there. Sometimes you got to look stupid, but you can't think that. But people will think that, and they're going to think you're stupid, and you look stupid. But you got to, this is what you got to say. You got to say, fuck you, I don't give a shit. Fuck you, I'm doing this so I can achieve my goals. And if you're not a part of supporting me for my goals in studying, life, business, entrepreneurship, like sports, then I don't really give a shit what the fuck you think. For me, I play ultimate frisbee, right? Great example. I think it's a sport. Some people don't. And do I get shit for it? All the time. But do you think I really give a fuck? I mean, I used to play baseball and soccer. I was pretty damn good at those sports. But you know what? I don't really give a fuck. And I didn't give myself enough credit back then. But I made the most of this opportunity. Because guess what? In ultimate frisbee, and even in other sports that are a lot of running, ultimate frisbee, you play tournament formats for games. So you're playing 6 to 8 games a weekend. That's 3 miles on average per game. I've looked it up. I've done the research. Okay, that's almost a fucking marathon of running in 2 days. And not to mention the running, you have to have the technical ability to throw. Catching's a little bit easier than throwing. But not only that, you have to deal with wind. You have to deal with defenders on you, people marking you. It's not easy. Not to mention throwing in the wind is even harder with someone playing defense on you, right? Like in basketball, like guarding you with wind, with like, you know what I'm saying? So I make it my own kind of, yeah, this sport's hard as shit. Right? Is it less popular? Yeah. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want to get better at it, you'll put in the progress. You'll go to those big events. You'll put yourself out there. You won't minimize yourself to a small life. You'll create a big life. Now, moving on to the next point, reframing this failure as a tool. Like I said, failure is growth. Failure is data, it's experience, and it's momentum. Every time I'm out in the field, when you're out in the field, when I'm out in the field throwing, when you're out in the field taking shots on goal, right? If you're a quarterback in football, throwing to targets, you learn something through missing the target. You learn something about yourself. You learn something about your mechanics. You learn something about your work ethic. And when you notice that you keep going and you miss like 6 or 7 times, you're slowly making adjustments and you're not getting worked up about it. You're not getting upset about it because practice is for mistakes. Okay? That's where you learn, and games is where you execute. And the more you learn and practice, and the more you do stuff outside of practice that's supplemental, the more you're going to execute. You're going to get more momentum from practicing more. Now, you got to be safe and be consistent, not overdo it, because we're human. But you need to make sure that you are failing, because this is key insight, not only for the things you want, but for your whole damn life. Literally for your life. Failure is insight into progress throughout your life, whether that's social, familial, career wise, vocation, it doesn't matter what it is. And another thing you have to realize is we're human, and every successful person in this world has failed. And usually more than they succeeded. But guess what? They stack the little W's and then they take L's. But then all they need is one big win. All you need is one big win in life to make a crazy impact and change the course that your life is on. Creates that fork in the road and you're like, oh shit, I'm a millionaire. Or oh shit, I'm a professional athlete. Or oh shit, I just won a Nobel Prize. Or oh shit, whatever it is. You have to fail. It is necessary for success. I mean, in a way, failure equals success, right? Indirectly, but it equals success nonetheless. You have to learn, and a part of this is you have to learn to see setbacks as progress markers in your journey through your goals. Because setbacks, whether they're on you or on someone else or on uncontrollable things, you can learn from them. You sprained your ankle. Good. You need a break from training. Or you're taking a test. You got an 80 on the test, but the rest of your test scores were good. Okay, good. Find a way to do better next time. And this is something that Jocko Willink says. He says good to everything. I listened to his podcast enough to know that you have to have this mindset and you have to say good. When something bad happens, good. Fix it. You gotta fix it, you gotta face it, and you gotta overcome your demons. You can't run away from the demons because they're always gonna catch you, man. Your worst nightmares, that thing that's eating you away, you have to face it, you have to fix it, and make it better. That is the only way. If you shove it down, you're never gonna find success, and it's always gonna be a problem for you. Does it take time? Absolutely. Would we like it not to take time? Sure, but that's the way it is. We are humans and we need time to process things, unfortunately. But that's the way we operate. That's how we're wired. For example, injury. I have a huge history with injuries, especially hamstring injuries, and I play a running intensive sport. I had two, three hamstring injuries. First one was from overuse. Second one was just from tightness, less severe. Third one was from too much stretching. But I took all the knowledge from all those setbacks, those injuries, and I put them to something that's supplemental. I was like, okay, what can I do here? What can I do to make sure that I'm staying up with my skills? Well, I can't run as much, so let's focus more on throwing. And the biggest setback I had was with my arm. Radial fracture and lunate fracture. Career-ending injury. I'm a righty. I throw righty in frisbee. And you know what? I had two options. I could quit, or I was like, okay, I can run, and guess what I can try to do? I can try to throw with my fucking left hand. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But guess what? As soon as I was able to do some exercise, you can't really run around with this because, post surgery stuff, whatever. I got out there and I started throwing. And were the first 500 reps pieces of shit? Yeah. But guess what? I got that shit out of my system and was like, okay, how do I make an adjustment? How do I make a flatter throw? How do I make a more accurate directional throw towards the intended target? And I've been throwing ever since. And sometimes my left-handed throws look better than my right-handed throws. I'm starting to get my right hand back. It's a little shaky, but you know what? We learn and we try to get it going. And who knows? Maybe I'll be able to throw both hands consistently one day. That's the goal. So, always look at the setbacks as progress. Please. Because if you don't, it's gonna eat you and you're gonna be on down on the success failure index. You're gonna keep going down. We don't want that, guys. I don't want that for you. I want you to be successful motherfuckers. I want you guys to fucking conquer the world, man. With whatever ventures, goals you have, aspirations you want to pursue, just do it, man. The next thing is how fear can be a sign that you're on the right path. Fear, we have flight or fight reflexes, but fear often means you're stepping into growth. It means you're pursuing something greater than yourself, pursuing something greater than what you have done in the past, and you're growing. For example, if you let something that you fear eat you up without confronting it, like we just talked about, you're never going to overcome it. Let's do a sports example. If you never set up a schedule to play that team or to play a tennis match against that guy who you know will kick the shit out of you, you're never going to be at his level because you're never going to know what it was like to play him. And maybe, who knows, it's a close ass game and you're like, well, shit, man, I can beat this motherfucker. Or, I don't know, spelling bee or math, decathlon, whatever it is. Put yourself out there, literally. Put yourself out there socially, family, business wise, career wise, sports. Do it. Network out beyond what you know and what you have already done. You're never going to do something that you've never accomplished if you don't go and pursue something you've never done. Right? If you don't do something that instills fear in you, you're never going to get past that obstacle in life. You're never going to get past it. That brings me to the next thing, which is differentiating between fear that warns you and fear that limits you. Like, you have to understand fear is a good thing. If we didn't feel it, like, we'd be emotionless and we'd be stupid, right? Fear helps us stay alive. But if it's limiting you from doing everything that you want to achieve, like, hey, I want to do this, I want to get my driver's license, I want to become the number one, player in the world, even for fucking video games, I want to become the first dude in the world to win a Nobel Prize and be a professional athlete, like, then do it. It's not going to be easy, though. You have to understand that. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to want to quit every single fucking day. And you're going to want to stop doing it. And that is what the limiter, the governor on the car is. It's saying, no, you can't go past the speed on the car, but you got to say, no, motherfucker, I'm going to upgrade, and I'm going to get a better transmission, and I'm going to put a fucking V8 engine in that motherfucker and zoom off. I'm going to go to the fucking moon. Right? You got to have that mindset. You got to have the growth, non-limiting mindset. And you need to use fear as a compass instead of a stop sign. That's more of an analogy for what I was just talking about. Using it as a compass and not as a stop sign. I mean, it literally guides you to where you need to be. Like, I'll just do it visually for you. You have your compass. Oh, failure. Oh, not that way. Oh, not that way. Oh, I guess we gotta go this way. Okay, we're this way. Keep going this way. Oh, nope. Redirect. Right? And that's where that success failure index comes in. You know where to go and you know where not to go. And then you make a bigger improvement by a little bit. It's not going to be great strides all the time. Sometimes it might, right? But you need to use it as a compass. You need to use it as a guide. You need to use it as a tool. We've mentioned all those words the past couple minutes. And this brings me to the last main talking point of today's episode. Taking practical steps to break through the fear of failure. You have to start small. If you start too large, like anything, if you start your sleeping routine and you try to wake up at 5:30 the first morning that you started going to bed at midnight, you're going to feel like shit. You need to adjust. You need to slowly build into it. Take the low stakes risks at first. Start small. And that'll help you build resilience, like we've talked about in the past. Build that foundation, build the support, then put the aesthetics on top, put the rooms on top, put the executive suite on top, put that cool ass hotel room on top, put the penthouse on top. You can't have a cool penthouse at the top if you don't got a fucking foundation, or the building's gonna fall in and collapse. Right? If you build your life like that, if you build your like, oh, penthouse, nope, nope, it's not gonna work. You need foundational steps. Foundational steps, number one. Number two, surround yourself with people who value growth over perfection. And everybody has the thought in their head, because we're all human, we want to be perfect all the time. And it feels so good to get things right, to be understanding things, to get mechanics down on a baseball swing, on a soccer kick, on a frisbee throw, whatever it is in sports and in life. To make a lot of money really fast, like it's great. But you gotta grow first. And you're gonna have lucky successes, you're gonna have good successes that you worked for earlier in your life, earlier in your career, earlier in your sport. But you need to understand, surround yourself with people who are better than you too. With people who know more than you about what you want to achieve, what your goals are, because they probably went through the same thing or are going through the same thing. And don't let naysayers and don't let people dissuade you from that. Just fucking go for it. Right? Number three, create a mindset shift. If I fail, I learn. If I succeed, I win. It's as simple as that. Say that mantra every time when you're out on the practice field, when you're hitting the books. Doesn't matter what it is, man. If I fail, I learn. If I succeed, I win. Simple mantra. Get it done. And to close out today's video, guys, greatness doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from moving through it. Every setback is a step forward if you choose to see it that way. The fear of failure will always be there, guys. It literally will always be there. No matter what you do, no matter what you try to avoid, no matter what you try to limit yourself to, you gotta choose to see it a different way. But it's your decision whether it stops you or not, or if it shapes you. Start that project, try out for that team, launch that idea, because the only true failure is never starting at all. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. Make sure to leave a like on YouTube, subscribe, give a rating on Spotify. Check out my other socials like TikTok, Instagram below, and I'll end with this. The work's never done, and that's because the job's not done. All right, y'all. I'll see you later. Peace.